Remember that moment? When someone tells you, "I'll be there soon," you instinctively put on your social mask. You reply, "Of course, I'm waiting." But deep inside, the air grows heavier. A quiet anxiety rises in your chest. It isn't anger, yet there's something in the very fact of an unexpected intrusion, the sudden realization that your personal temple is about to be disturbed. If this feeling is familiar to you, stop and exhale. It doesn't mean you're a cold person. Today, we'll explore this deep paradox, why some people flinch at the thought of having guests, even when the one standing at the door is someone they truly love.
For some, a home only comes alive in noise. It feeds on the energy of a crowd, laughter, conversations that stretch until morning. But for a sensitive soul, home serves an entirely different purpose. It is not a stage for entertainment. It is a place of healing, the only point in the universe where you can remove the mask and where the world finally stops demanding your attention, and you, at last, owe nothing to anyone.
So when someone steps across the threshold, even someone you value, the chemistry of the space shifts. The silence fractures, cracking like thin glass. Inside, a quiet standby mode switches on. And it's not because the guest doesn't matter to you. It's simply that in that moment, your fortress no longer belongs only to you.
Psychology suggests that for a sensitive soul, home is more than architecture. It is your inner harbor. It is an extension of your nervous system. Every object, every shadow here has its own rhythm. Each item stands exactly where it is meant to stand, everything held under gentle yet precise control. So when a guest comes in, the brain doesn't react with fear, but with a loss of balance. A person's presence is like one tiny snowflake that sets off an entire avalanche. Nothing scary has happened, but your body is no longer in that same comfort, and your calm has already started sliding downhill, and it's hard to stop. Think about the weight we carry in the outside world. At work, out on the street, we are all actors. We are polite, attentive, always on alert. We wear the heavy armor of social expectations, and home is the only place where you can finally unfasten that armor and let it fall to the floor. But when a guest arrives, you are forced to put it on again. You have to play a role again. Smile, be present. It creates a quiet exhaustion, as if you're being made to run one more mile when your body has already collapsed from fatigue. This isn't selfishness. It's simply the state of a soul that has run out of resources to give. And here lies a truth few people dare to say out loud. Often it is the kindest souls, the warmest, the most empathetic hearts, who feel the deepest relief the very moment the door closes behind a guest. It is not cruelty, it is not coldness, it is necessity. For such people, silence is not merely the absence of noise. Silence is oxygen. And after holding their breath for so long, they simply need to inhale at last. Ultimately, it is a matter of your emotional architecture. For a vulnerable soul, home is not a stage for spectators. It is backstage, where you can finally take off the costume. That is why we often choose neutral territory, a pub or the street. It allows us to care for others while leaving our inner temple untouched. For some, this instinct is an echo from the past, a memory of childhood, when a knock at the door meant chaos, panic, and the demand to be perfect. The body remembers that tension even many years later. But hear this now. There is nothing wrong with you. There is no contradiction in deeply loving people while fiercely protecting your solitude. You can be a wonderful friend and still need the silence of an empty room, a warm cup, and the familiar rhythm of your own thoughts.
If you recognized yourself in this mirror, welcome. Share your story in the comments and stay with us as we continue exploring the hidden corners of human consciousness. And as always, may knowledge be with you. See you soon.